shouldn't have done it. So how are you feeling this Christmas Day? Festive greetings all to Auntie's all-new Christmas Bloomers, the show that your favourite BBC stars and presenters enjoy about as much as a turkey likes Bernard Matthews. You like the outfit? Got it just this morning, actually. It's rather special, because this is the very jacket worn by Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye. But of course, had to be taken in more than somewhat to fit my lithe and toned torso. But who needs Bond, Arnie, or dare I say it, Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, and I'm about. The man the BBC controller of programmes calls the dork from Cork. Ridiculous. I come from Limerick. Well, I suppose I should be grateful he knows who I am, because half the time the power-crazed maniac forgets who he is. But I can't let such an insult pass unavenged. And this is my chance, because I have here... Look at this. The very bus ticket on the back of which the controller scheduled the BBC's output for the last year. He just used the one side, obviously. So join me then for... How the heck did they manage that? Tiptoe through the turnips of an average day on BBC television. And I'm minded by the lingering whiff of elephant dung that lingers even now here where so many television careers come to die. Well, it's either elephant dung or the remains of Muffin the Mule. The one department that has done more than most to fill this bunker full of blunders to the very brim. So if you're sitting comfortably, you must never have worked on a BBC children's programme.
I'm just putting the finishing touches to this American folding bike. That's it, handlebars in place. This is called Bike Friday, and it's perfect for touring and for long stretches on open road. Are you all right?
You're right.
I'm fine.
Can you please welcome out Amy Deacon, who's 12 years old, and she's from Leyland, near Preston. And she is desperate to gunge her dad, Philip. Hang on, sorry. Amy, where's your dad? Where's your dad?
Well, maybe if you called him Martin.
Martin, all right.
Hello, little Jack Horner. What have you got there?
He's just gone, little Jack Horner. I'm the neighbour of Hearts.
Hello.
Stop moaning. We've done a good job there. That'll keep the savages out.
And the elephants.
I'm not sure about that coffee table, though.
While we're waiting for Richard to go, guess who we've got to speak to here? This is Richard's mum. Richard, how are you?
This is Keukenhof, the biggest bulb garden, not just in Holland, but in the world. And just look at all these flowers. Last autumn, 6 million bulbs were planted.
Now, Mother, let me save you with some soup. Come with me.
That's it. Like this. Ooh.
Governor, could you spare a little change? You've got a generous face. Could you spare some little thing for... Congratulations! I'm forgotten life. and very hungry as well. Congratulations! You, my friend, I'm...
Cher!
If someone was after you, I'd know.
Excuse me, have you got a light, Gav? Oh, thanks, mate. Oh, my finger!
Oh, I can't be lying.
Yes. The tragedy of genius. It is a heavy cross to bear. But enough about you. Let's talk about me for a little while. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Oh.
No, it's only 57 days to Christmas. Do you know this?
Oh, no, it isn't.
Yes,
it is.
Well, have a cup of tea. I'll put the
Yes,
kettle on.
I'm sorry, Zoe.
That's all right,
Come on,
that's
have a cup of tea.
All right, okay.
Good fun down there.
Hey, we're really very hot and very
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, come on, then.
All right.
All right.
The blushful enthusiasm of youth. The controller of programmes will beat it out of them with a rolled-up copy of the Radio Times, using the Christmas edition on the real troublemakers. They're the people you see on television with an advert for stretch covers imprinted on their cranial casings. The controller came to mind, not because the turkeys turned me stomach, but because I've come across something that's always on hand when he addresses the BBC governors. So wake up to old alarm clock. They're inclined to nod off at the best of times. In fact, these clocks are standard BBC issue to presenters on breakfast news, getting them up bright and early to give you the news and analysis that's up to the minute, on the button, and sharp as Mystic Meg's eyebrow pencil. I suppose this load of nonsense is a bonus.
We're talking to him in an hour. I think you might find him in fairly upbeat mood.
What about the atmosphere there, Rob? Apart from the noise.
I beg your pardon, I didn't catch that, Andrew. It's a bit noisy.
And the leader was Neville Sanders. Neville, why did you lose? Was it because of your poor local performance, or was it something wider than that?
It certainly wasn't our poor local performance, because for the past 3 years we have delivered ever-increasing services at lower cost.
Now back to Justin in the studio.
Lance, thank you very much. We should apologise to Councillor Neville Sanders there. When we described him on the screen in the caption as extreme right, we were not referring, of course, to his politics. We were actually referring to his position on the screen. It was an instruction for our camera people, which you were not intended to see.
Well, as you know, Europe is in the grip of Arctic weather conditions with a belt of snow stretching across the north of the continent. For details of that and the rest of the international weather, here's Bill Giles. I'm sorry about that. We could see Bill Giles, but we couldn't hear him.
I'm sure he was saying it was cold, but we couldn't actually tell.
We've been watching the World Today from the BBC. We think we're coming out of this programme now. But,
A bill giving more autonomy to the French National Assembly has adopted, must approve the measures before a constitutional review. I'm sorry, this story is absolute nonsense. I'll continue with some.
Good morning. David Hill's patience is certainly being tested to the full in the closing stages of this year's Formula One Drivers' Championship. The lead he's held all season and the title that's been in his grasp for weeks may yet disappear. Well, like that camera, a fortnight on Sunday in the Japanese Grand Prix at the last of the season. No need to finish outside the top 6 behind a Jacques Villeneuve victory.
Now, Tokyo stocks opened higher on Monday morning. I can't actually show you what Tokyo stocks are doing because I haven't got my button. If Rod, who is here in the background, could push my button for me, I can show you. They were supported by strong gains on Wall Street on Friday and in London, but gains are limited as investors keep a wary eye on the Bank of Japan's quarterly Tankan report, which is due out on Wednesday. Thank you, Rod.
David Shukman is there. David.
I'm not hearing anything, by the way, actually.
Papua New Guinea President's 13 in Mount Hagen this morning by 34 points to 8. So good news for them, despite the riots earlier in the tour, Sarah. I'm so sorry, I wasn't listening to a word you were saying.
In the Times that bad weather in Ireland has caused what on earth am I talking about?
time to catch up with the sports news with the birthday boy. Not a big one, is it? I'm not suggesting for a moment it is a big one, but
It's
it
not.
is a big one. All right, get on with it then.
Certain like only a complete Egypt would get involved in broadcasting at that unearthly time of the day. I know you probably feel the need of some real quality in your daily viewing, and of course there are few things for which the BBC is more justly famed than its coverage of the natural world, life on Earth, kingdom of the ice bear, Basil Brush, classics all. Though even I would balk at showing you the footage of the frenzied negotiations which preceded Sir David Attenborough's unforgettable film with those gorillas. Let's just say their agent made sure they'd never be short of a banana sandwich before he allowed the cameras to roll. Too shocking for words. Oh yeah, I can tell you for nothing that these priceless glimpses into the animal world really don't come cheap.
No, thank God.
Can we repeat that? Thank God I've got life insurance.
And here they are, capybara.
After 8 weeks, we've reached the final of One Man and His Dog. And who's going to have this wonderful trophy on his...
Oh, Martin, I'm a bit stuck.
Turn round.
I can't get out. No, seriously. Nigel. I am.
Somebody better go out.
Help!
There is one secret that I can let out of the back now, as long as nobody else hears me talking about it. Because every 2 years, Wildscreen makes a Special Achievement Award, and it goes to someone who's made an outstanding contribution to natural history programming. Now, this is the one decision that can be made ahead of Festival Week. So, although the winner is still blissfully unaware of his award, we can show you why he so very much deserves it. His name is...
Look, I do this. No, don't pull me. No, don't pull me. Oh, I'm going to wet my knickers.
Something like an ear tag. This one's got two, one for when it was a lamb, or with paint, or with a tattoo, maybe with the implant of a silicon chip. Now...
Why don't I do the intro? Can you?
No, I'm stuck.
Right, okay.
They send skilled people, such as farmers, doctors and teachers, to work in some of the poorest countries in the world.
Actually, my camera's in the car. Is the car open? Do you want to chuck me the keys? Excuse me, do you mind?
Even the selfless courage of Michaela Stratman, and if my experience on WOW, what's on Wogan? The answer being a puzzle expression most of the time. If that's anything to go by, precious little thanks she'll get for putting her neck on the line for the BBC. Even her sinew-stiffening bravery pales slightly by comparison with the fearless professionalism of financial guru Alvin Hall, a presenter hand-pecked for this job.
Hello, I'm Alvin Hall. I'm sorry, man. I know I can't blow this. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Ready? Many investment schemes sprang up to take advantage of this investment opportunity. One scheme promised investors a 50% return on their investment within 1 year. Oh, well. One scheme offered investors a 50% return on their money within 1 year. To me, that would have been a warning sign. Nonetheless, 4,000 investors plunked down 20 million pounds, seeing signs of pounds in their future. Sorry. To me, that would have been a warning sign. Nonetheless, 4,000 investors invested 20,000 pounds. Sorry. Sorry. One scheme promised investors a 50% return within 1 year. To me, that would have been a warning sign. However, 4,000 people invested 20,000 pounds in one venture. And I went crazy. Several investment schemes sprang up to take advantage of this fabulous investment opportunity. Several schemes sprang up to take advantage of the financial potential of these birds. One scheme promised investors a 50% return on their investment within 1 year. To me, that would have been a warning sign. Nonetheless, sorry.
Now, if you thought that was dramatic, I'm afraid things are about to take a turn for the worse, as I reveal a quite shocking exhibit. You're probably aware that actors make sacrifices to work for the BBC, lovey. But what you don't know is what every member of the EastEnders cast has to undergo. Vowel surgery. These are the vowels, the glottal stops, the consonants, that they've had taken out. A radical step, but the only certain means of ensuring that Bianca and Tiffany will never be called Bianca or Tiffany by mistake. See, when it's a matter of BBC contemporary dramas, which reflect all the tensions and complexities of modern life, we don't risk getting it wrong, do we? Hey?
Here, I had a lovely time the other night. Thanks for taking us out.
Yeah, so how's the world of showbiz then?
Wouldn't know.
You're too modest.
Actually, I've got a night off tomorrow.
One-toothed Tommy.
We'll rot in hell for this.
Oh, no.
This used to be his land, didn't it?
Hello. Mr. McGarvey, what can I do for you?
I was hoping I could have that interview with you now.
Oh.
This used to be his land, didn't it?
I'm sure I have one somewhere here.
You're trembling.
When I think of what happened.
It's okay, I understand.
How?
Hello, Donny. Answer crab is a step in the right direction. An attempt at breaking down barriers, at reaching out. And if through this we can make a difference to just one young life, well, I'd feel
warm and cuddly.
All set for election day?
Well, all this has taken its toll. I haven't been able to focus my campaign. Dooley's taken a big lead in the polls.
What are you talking about, press? This is a 6-1.
See you in court, Marty. See you in court, Marty. I've done it again. I'm so sorry.
Hello, is that Sarah Spencer? Yes. Sorry, Sarah, go again. I nearly said Ferguson.
I swear, Porrick, I will lock you up if you don't tie that animal down. How often do I have to tell you?
I'm sorry, guard. I know. It's the young fella.
You're his father. You're responsible.
I've tried to tell him. A goat is for Christmas. I don't believe it.
What now?
I left the hairdryer plugged in. I know I didn't unplug it this morning. That means it'll be plugged in all night.
Is your hairdryer like special? Does it turn into Semtex if it's left plugged in?
No, but I'm always telling Claire to be careful around the flat, and what do? I leave her with a domestic politic ping-pong puddle poo. I went wrong on that line.
You've got everything you need here, haven't you? All the necessary.
Necessary for what?
Oh, say, setting up a radio station.
Just come straight on. Sit down. All right. No.
BBC isn't only concerned with the heavy stuff. The controller of programmes himself likes nothing better than a good laugh, which is no more than you'd expect from a man who can trace his family tree all the way back to Attila the Hun via Vlad the Impaler. Ah, yes, here at the Concrete Donut, we know that BBC comedy really is nothing to laugh about.
Well, you don't have to make the effort to be interesting.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend you prefer going on holiday on your own.
There's always someone there to make a...
Make a mistake.
Sorry.
In the first...
It's very good stuff.
Where am I going, Trace? A new whiff, eh? I wish I knew what I was going to say next.
I can't even help you.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Just wondering what sort of degree I could get at your university.
Well, that depends how much you're willing to spend, doesn't it? I mean, you could get like a B.Ed or a BSc for in the region of 20 grand.
Yes.
But, you know, if you're looking at, like, the other way...
I met Beryl today. You remember Beryl, don't you? She shared a flat with me.
After all, you haven't acquainted yourself with real life. Stayed married and had babies like everybody else. Why didn't you want baby Sandra?
I'm sorry, I haven't got the plunger.
You haven't acquainted yourself with real life. Stayed married and had babies like everybody else. Why didn't you want to have baby Sandra?
Because I didn't want the men that
Actually, there's a bit of a melt happening out there, really. Is there? No, that's just the junior piece, darling. That's okay. You didn't see anyone you recognised out there, did you? No. I was too goggled up. I couldn't see anybody. No? No? What, no sort of no Ivana? No. Names escape me.
We thought we'd try to keep the mystery and not get married, so we moved to the Wirral. I got a job as a what?
Hello.
I wish I felt like that about Dad.
But how can I respect a parent who tells me to behave, do the right thing, and then does the complete opposite? Don't you reckon, Mum?
Do you want some more courgettes chopped, Garth?
Yeah, but it's not all that simple, is it, Garth?
To be honest, I'm finding it very difficult to concentrate with all these boxes.
Oh, fear of boxes. Hello? I've forgotten my line again, but I didn't forget it, I was just going to say.
Just stand on a rocky outcrop like this, looking noble. And I had to talk to animals like this. And they all sketched me.
Wonder what the locals will make of us.
Foreigners.
Coming down here with your fancy London ways. I thought we might stroll to the village after lunch.
And I'll say something at some point.
For flowers, just mow the Netherlands, no expense spared. And then get every PR's PR list and invite everybody on it, all right? I'll pay them and invite... And, oh, my children in the audience.
How is he?
It's touch and go.
Where was he shot?
Just near the bollards.
Well, enough of this mayhem and mirth I hear you weekly mumble. I think you'll agree that a moment's thought would be welcome on this show, particularly as there isn't a hint of one anywhere in the region of this script. Indeed, this is surely a time for reflection.
To me, then. To you, Benny. To me, Paul. To you, then. To me. Steady, 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 steady. Right, bring it in. Back to the wall. Back in. To you. To me. To you, then. That's it. There. Oh, dear. Turn it round. To me. To you, then. To you. To you. That's it. To you. To you, Paul. To you, then. To you. To me. Right. To me. Oh.
And there we go. In just one day, or half a day for a DIY expert, we've got a granite effect fireplace with a beautiful matching mirror.
Anna, help. I've got this bathroom cabinet. Obviously, it's not going to go in my new design bathroom. So surprise me, please. I've got to go.
Hello.
Anna, I've got to go to work. This bathroom cabinet does not go with my newly designed bathroom. Help. Surprise me. See you later. I don't know what to do with it. I've got to go to work and it's not going to go in my newly designed bathroom. Surprise me. Bye.
Cheers, Kathy.
Bye, Brenda.
Anna, help.
You don't need me to tell you that a key element in your evening's viewing on BBC television is your daily diet of regional news. It's an area on which the BBC places great importance and one in which its commitment to quality is always to the fore, which explains why they've gone to such lengths to hide all these outtakes from Nationwide. It's good to know, then, that in times of change, the standard of regional news bulletins is being rigorously maintained.
What precautions have you been taking to ensure that your family doesn't get burnt?
Well, as you can see, generally they all wear their hats. We cover them in a factor 25 centimetres as near temple block as possible. And although this little mite tends not to keep his hat on, we've got a parasol on his buggy, so hopefully we keep the worst off them.
So how aware do you think people are?
On the whole, I've been quite surprised, but I have seen quite a few red sort of people walking around. But they tend, like we all do, I think, to look out for their children first and look out for themselves. I'm guilty of it as well. Red armed on me, but the kids are well looked after. Hopefully.
From a key point of view, no, the national curriculum is about the entitlement for all children. It's about developing their skills through activities that they enjoy, get motivated by, and then seek to pursue them into secondary schools and on into their extracurricular or...
As the role of the agent changes, there are fears that the relative inexperience of some of the newcomers might just mean that the political spotlight falls more on Westminster and less on regions like our own. David Martin, the East at Westminster in Norfolk.
The Cornish pasty may be the best pasty in the world, but if Euro MPs get their way and you're the wrong side of the Tamar, then this pasty will fall in half.
We're just asking people today what you want to see from this minister for Nottingham. What would you like him to do for the city?
I'm from London, so I don't... You know, I mean, you picked on totally the wrong guy, actually. I just got off the train. I'm sorry, guys.
The fortunate thing is that, in my experience, it's been influenced for the benefit of other people, not merely for Northumberland Estates. I mean, this is the...
Well, that's about it from us. Don't forget that we're back in 3 weeks' time as honourable members are having their traditional Whitsun break. By the way, if you want to raise any of the points from our CSA... Sorry. Oh, shut up.
People have long wanted to be buried or cremated in places which have a special meaning for them, but here at the Midland Railway Centre in Derbyshire, they're planning to create a cemetery right next to the railway line so that railway lovers can die in peace. Here at the Midland Railway Centre in Derbyshire, they're planning to create a cemetery right next to the railway line so that railway lovers can live in peace. Ugh.
The hospital authorities here seem surprised at the impact today's story's having. They say this is just a minor innovation. But this minor innovation is in fact the first public revelation of what will be a revolution in how nurses and doctors will work in the future. Claire Smith, North West Tonight. Where am I?
Life can be fraught with hazards for the regional reporter, you know. Witness the perils braved by BBC Midland's Bob Jefford as he comes face to face with the Japanese ladies' lawn bowling team.
Where are you from?
From Japan.
What's it like to be here?
Yeah, boring. Boring? Yes, long boring.
Ha, they proud beauties, pardon me if I seem a little flushed, but buckling the old swash can have that effect on one. I must press it. As by now, loyal BBC viewer that I'm sure you are, you're no doubt champing at the bit for a burst of costume drama to enliven your evening's viewing. Whether it's the classics of English literature or sweeping sagas of family life in the turbulent years of war, you can, of course, rely on the corporation that brought you the Forsyte Saga, One Claudius, Pride and Prejudice, Rhodes, to get every last period detail right, whatever the cost in time and money. As a result, there's precious little of either left over for rehearsals.
And then he saw Anatevka, her auburn hair catching the afternoon sunlight of King's College Chapel, coming towards him. How was he to know where this meeting would lead? One kiss, one affair, one-way ticket to Leningrad. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then softly, with the warmth of 27, Anatevka looked up, a voice full of mystery and, brooding enchantment.
Tree fellow. This is a bit balmy, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's balmy at all.
The internal information is well advanced. Can't say I'm surprised. Information is well advanced. Can't say I'm surprised.
He's on my back. We've got no still in the glass.
Can't say I'm surprised. I thought so. This sort of thing must stop.
It's the only damn thing that keeps me alive.
If you go on believing that.
It's going to fall off. Just let it fall off.
There has been a personal element in this. I would like you to realize that Mr. Grant is, or at any rate was in his day, a very distinguished surgeon, a man of...
You broke into our house.
Let's keep the matter in hand, shall we?
I could go to the police. It was you. You broke into our house.
Let's keep the matter in hand, shall we? Seen enough of your hubby, have you? Ta-da.
Does Mum know what?
You were kissing her and all that, weren't you?
Yeah, it must have seemed like that. I was kissing her, yeah.
I've got to say this. When I came in here the other day and saw Kay sitting here, I really felt like the complete outsider.
That's all in the past now. I've got you.
Yes, masterpieces all. Though this is one classic adaptation you won't be seeing. A disastrous version of one of Jane Austen's greatest novels, a big-budget production starring Oliver Reed. Sense and insensibility. There's one subject the BBC governors are keen on. It's leisure. After a while, those wild parties where they get tanked up on a heady cocktail of Wincarnis and Sanatogen and end up swapping pension books begin to pale and boredom sets in big time. Their need to find things to fill their days is reflected in the number of programs on your screens that give you ideas to expand your horizons, stretch your mind, ensure your life is more fulfilling all round. But leaving neighbours aside, gentleman broadcaster that I am, what I want to know is this. Does leisure have to be such hard work?
Well, one of the best places of the lot is on Hawthorne Blossom. You can see completely...
Flash, tacky and cheap were how the British fashion industry once described him. But nowadays, few could dispute the Milanese godfather of glitz as being one of the most influential fashion designers in the world. Take a trip... Oh!
For instance, ice, water, steam.
Well, I might not be the next Damon Hill, but like everybody here today, I've certainly had a lot of fun. And at least in the event of an accident, I'll have a much better idea of what to do.
Max knows nothing about timing.
Right.
Right. I get the ball. And hit it.
And for the full SP on the leisure and lifestyle front, we need, of course, look no further than to the show which gives it you straighter than the white line down the middle of the M25. I speak, of course, of Top Gear. Sneak a glance in your rear view as presenter Quentin Wilson shows just how easy it is to smash your headlamps in a trivial mishap. I'm a ladder man. I sympathise. I really do, because that sort of thing is really very easily done.
Volkswagens.
Here it comes. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's weakening.
took a hammer and a centre punch to do this. Volkswagens.
Now, you're lucky to join me on this merry Yuletide, because I've just come across a valuable piece of television memorabilia in this handcrafted box. Have been filed the deft jewels of humour which lit up the scripts of that televisual landmark, blankety blank. You'll have guessed as much, of course, because you don't need the likes of me to tell you how I've suffered in the cause of entertainment, and you along with me. I've never been the same since the first edition of Come Dancing. Terrible searing pain hit me right in the middle of me Paso Doble. Oh, yes. When it comes to light entertainment, things can get really heavy.
See, what I need is, for this game, is a little helper who can actually help me organise it all and do the counting, perhaps. So I wonder if there's someone perhaps I could have a word with in the rodents return who might like to help.
Well, Rachel, I just wonder if
Kelly.
you've got a Sorry?
Kelly.
Who's Rachel, then? Thank you, Kelly, for making me look slightly stupid. We'll cut that out in the edit, all right?
The blacks over the middle pocket were angled by the jaw, and somehow we've got to pot the black, and we'd have to play it something like this. Oh, got it harder than that, right? It's a bit slow, this table, today, isn't it?
Table's very slow
Are you
today.
getting the idea, Ray? I love this.
That's the one. No. This could be a record.
Ray, will you look interested?
Never ceases to amaze me the things that they have at the BBC to make an ordinary trick shot look that easy to do after 49 takes.
Oh, that's better. Excuse me. Mind you, I had 10 pints last night. Oh, I cocked it up and I've got to drink that again.
Lee. Alan, your turn.
How often during the average episode of Neighbours do you see some crestfallen husband over a pint saying to his friend, she's run off with some flaming grongo with a ring in his ear and a long ginger ziff? Because a ziff is a beard in Australia and sometimes in New Zealand. Not always ginger, but it's a long beard. As is.
Well, that's very good of you, except it's the words leak.
I needed a lift on Christmas Day, and so our trawl through the flotsam and jetsam of a typical day's output on BBC One is mercifully almost over. But I couldn't let you depart till I've armed you with an invaluable piece of advice. It is not only invaluable, but also spookily seasonal. For if you ever find yourself in the cutthroat world of BBC television, for goodness sake, watch your back.
So you've just passed your test, you've never been on a motorway before, and you're then able to go out and join just this sort of traffic.
In this case, it's going to be doing motorcycling, and indeed there may well be a spin-off here as well in road safety and responsibility with motor vehicles for when they're a little bit older.
And what is life like in the clay villages then? Sorry, just hold it for a second. Just to get round that edit point if we need to.
If, by any chance, the committee
the Vets Committee today doesn't decide to support a partial lifting of the ban, then there is going to be a very large domestic political reaction in Britain. It's going to increase the number of Tory MPs who are likely to revolt against the government in a vote on the Common Agricultural Policy tomorrow.
I'm not going to talk about profits or losses. What I'm saying is that our product, the shuttle, is a success and it's attracting in ever-increasing numbers.
I think if you're not completely sort of financially illiterate, you'll realise that it will come back in the... We'll be able to attract more freight back onto the railways, which will mean environmentally it'll be much more desirable. Do you want to start it again?
No. We'll change shot on that.
Here, Marjorie. Lots of happy customers. Can't be bad. About his treat.
Well, Winston Churchill didn't kill Aung San, though he clearly loathed him. But to find out who may have been pulling the strings back in London and why...
Pulling the strings of
Well, army companions in chaos, I hope you'll agree that the past few minutes have shown that your typical day's programmes on the BBC are made by people who are relentlessly creative, indefatigably dedicated, unquestionably loyal, and on today's evidence, either very unlucky or thick as two short planks. Now, if you forgive me, I really must get out of here before I'm discovered. Let's face it, wouldn't be Christmas without the Great Escape.
Escape into fantasy next on BBC One with the big movie for Christmas Day, Jurassic Park.